Well, it's finally raining here. Finally raining here in Pennsylvania. It's been dry for weeks and weeks. And yeah, it's a good thing. And strangest thing happened yesterday. I sent an email to Larry Smart up at Cornell saying, hey, I think I can go to the field day on September 11th. And he wrote back with details and whatever. But he also mentioned that he was going to be picking up an Ereasy hempcrete spray machine at Cameron McIntosh's shop in Pennsylvania tomorrow. I mean, he said that yesterday. So that's today. So I'm here at the shop in the rain. Larry Smart just got here. We just loaded this Ereasy into his truck. Cameron and Larry are sitting here chatting. Let's see what's happening here. Hey, excuse me, guys. How's it going,
man? Good.
Good. Larry Smart, what are you doing in Pennsylvania?
Yeah, good to see you again. It's turning into an annual tour of Pennsylvania for me because you have so much activity going on around here.
Yeah, well, what are you getting up to this
Yeah, so I'm here at Americhanvre to pick up our Ereasy. So we're very fortunate to get a grant from New York State to start what we're calling the Bioeconomy Hub at Cornell Agritech in Geneva.
Excellent.
And the first pieces of equipment I'm buying for that are the Ereasy hempcrete application system.
Okay, and that comes in handy because you all are hosting a hempcrete workshop in what, a second week, third week of September?
Yeah, it's a hemp building workshop, so we will also have Maddie Mead from Hempitecture there talking about their building products. We will have Greg Wilson from Hempwood there talking about his building products.
All right.
But really the feature of the show is Sergei Kovalenko talking about hempcrete and
Everyone's favorite Ukrainian.
Yep, and all of the buildings that he's built, but also Cam will be there demonstrating.
Cameron McIntosh, that guy. Hey, Cam,
Yep.
how you doing?
What's up, guys?
So we're in your shop. This is great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a big hempcrete event, but I'm going to talk to Jacob Bish later on this episode, and I'll hear more about that. But you've got a field day coming up before that, right? Can you tell me a bit about that?
Yeah, so September 11th, that's a Thursday. It will be all day starting at 8, going till 4, is our annual Cornell Grain and Fiber Hemp Field Day. And this year we are focused on grain. Last year we were focused on fiber, but this year focused on grain. We just got a combine, and we're waiting for a header to come in next week for that combine so that we can demonstrate combine harvesting of our new grain variety, which we call Ursa Grande. And then I've got 3 of my colleagues in the animal science department at Cornell who are doing animal feeding studies with hemp seed meal provided by IND Hemp, one of your sponsors.
Right. It's all connected.
We're grateful to them. So they're going to be talking about their feeding studies of broiler chickens, horses, and dairy cows. And then we'll also have Raj Kasula talking about the laying hen feeding study here in Pennsylvania.
He's from Wenger Feeds.
He's from Wenger Feed. And Andrew Bish will be there, the head of the Hemp Feed Coalition.
All right. So you'll have 2 Bishes, at least 2 Bishes.
Yeah. So Jacob Bish is a research support specialist in my group, and yeah, he's been leading the organization of this hemp building workshop. And the feature for me will be Herb Grove talking about hemp-fed bison here in Pennsylvania. So New York and Pennsylvania, we're joined at the hip, so to speak.
Yeah. I was just up at Herb Grove's place last week, and I saw the bison. I know he's not growing hemp this year, but he's been involved for many years now, and I know he's excited to come up there and give. Maybe he's a little nervous, but I think he's going to do great. So we can learn more about this. I'll have a link somewhere, right? And
yeah, we'll give you a link, and yeah,
and we're
again,
off to the
just
races.
Go to hemp.cals.cornell.edu or just Google Cornell Hemp, and you'll find our website. Yep.
All right, and now you're about to drive to King's Agri-Seeds?
King's Agri-Seed, we have some of our new grain varieties in trials there, and I'm really anxious to go see how they're doing here in Pennsylvania. Yep.
How are they looking up there in Geneva?
Well, we've been extremely dry, but we got an inch of rain last night, and that might bring us up to 3.5 inches since June 1st.
Oh, wow. Really?
So our field day will demonstrate how well hemp can survive a very dry period like that. It's pretty cool.
And then tomorrow you're going to the Poconos.
And then I'll be at the Pocono Organics and Rodale Institute field day. Yep.
And I'll see you there. All right. Larry Smart, it's great to see you in Pennsylvania. Cameron, do you want to say anything about your... Nothing?
Just great to have Larry drop in as usual. It's becoming a regular thing, and I'm here for it. So, and one last thing I'll also say is that Herb Grove is one of the only people that can make me feel small. So, if you want to hear about raising bison on hemp seed from a guy who is, very appropriately positioned as a bison farmer due to his size, Herb is an awesome guy. We've known him for a long time here. Grew seed with Josh Leidecker in the past, and has been raising bison on it ever since. So he's leading the charge. Good guy. Yeah. Thanks for coming, Larry. We'll see you in a month.
Thanks, Cam. Thanks, Eric.
Okay, before we get too far into today's show, I need to take care of a little business. Today's show is brought to you with support from Americhanvre. Wait a minute. Cameron McIntosh, how do you pronounce the name of your company?
So chanvre is the French word for hemp, and I pronounce it as the name Sean with a VE at the end. But I actually love hearing people try it. I love hearing the American tongue try to wrap itself around the rose of the French language. It's very entertaining for me.
All right, well, thanks, Cameron. That clears it up. So, build smarter and greener with Americhanvre. Their hemp and lime hempcrete is carbon negative, fire and pest resistant, and delivers real insulation performance. Using the US-built Ereasy Spray system, Americhanvre installs walls that are sustainable, healthy, and built to last. Americhanvre is shaping the future of construction. Visit Americhanvre.com or call 833-443-6727. Americhanvre, building with hemp for our future. Today's show is also made possible with support from King's Agri-Seeds in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. Do you need forage that performs, cover crops that build better soil, or reliable corn for livestock? Or a whole array of hemp seed? Yeah, that's King's Agri-Seed. Serving the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast since 1993 with improved forage, cover crop kits, grain, and industrial hemp blends. Visit kingsagriseeds.com or call 717-687-6224. King's Agri-Seeds, seeds that work as hard as you do. All right, now it's time for this week's News Nuggets, powered by Hemp Today. First up, fallout from Trump's climate rollbacks. We already knew that the administration froze billions in climate-smart commodities funding earlier this year, but the story now is the scale of the collapse. Hemp's $35 million slice of that program has effectively vanished, and labs from UC Davis to Texas A&M are shutting down projects midstream. For hemp, what's left in Washington is just $500,000 in a Minnesota appropriations earmark, a fraction of a fraction compared to what's been lost. The takeaway is, this isn't just a freeze, it's a wholesale dismantling of hemp's climate-smart future. And just let me editorialize here. Is it really a wholesale dismantling of hemp's climate-smart future? I think hemp's climate-smart future is still there. This is just a wholesale dismantling of the government's involvement, right? And maybe without the government involved, maybe things can move a little faster towards a climate-smart future. Also, a human health smart future, an economic smart future. I believe in people more than I believe in government. Anyway, meanwhile, in Australia, hemp is finally getting a spotlight. The Australian Senate, which I hope is more effective than the US Senate, the Australian Senate has opened a national inquiry into hemp's role in housing, farming, and the economy. Submissions are open until October, and a final report is due mid-2026. What makes this newsy is the timing. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has promised 1.2 million new homes in the next 5 years, and hempcrete advocates see their shot to make hemp part of the solution. Plantings doubled last season, and fiber is drawing major investment. Nearly $130 million expected in the next 2 years. Crikey! Yeah, Australia. I love it. I hope to go there someday and to see the Australian hemp industry with my own eyes. So hello there, down under. All right, and finally, in Texas, intoxicating hemp's days are numbered. Texas lawmakers are advancing Senate Bill 6, banning any measurable THC in hemp products. Governor Abbott vetoed a similar bill in June, but only to push his own strict regulatory framework. Whether it's a total ban or a potency cap, the outcome looks the same. Texas's $4 billion Delta-8 market is headed for the exit. What makes this week different? Well, SB 6 is moving fast, and Abbott's alternative is on the table. For retailers and producers, the countdown has started. Are you in Texas? Are you being affected by this? I'd love to hear from you. Shoot me an email. Send it to podcast@lancasterfarming.com. All right, so those are your news nuggets for this week, powered by Hemp Today. Check them out on the show page for this episode. I've got links there. Click on them. Go check out hemptoday.net. Okay, finally, we're headed to Pocono Organics in Blakelee, Pennsylvania for a Hemp Field Day hosted by the Rodale Institute. We'll hear from Ashley Walsh from Pocono Organics, Tara Caton from the Rodale Institute, and then Ron Kander from Jefferson University. But that's not the end of it. No, after we hear from Ron Kander, I'm going to go talk to Jacob Bish. He's the Research Support Specialist at Cornell University in Larry Smart's lab. And he is organizing a 3-day hemp construction workshop, September 16th, 17th, and 18th. So we're going to hear about that. All right, so here we go. We're off to the races. We're going to first hear from Ashley Walsh from Pocono Organics.
Hi, Ashley Walsh, president and founder of Pocono Organics.
All right, well, what is Pocono Organics?
Pocono Organics is one of the largest regenerative organic certified vegetable farms in North America, and we're proud to be the growers of the world's first regenerative organic certified hemp and the world's first regenerative organic certified microgreens, in addition to our diverse crops that we grow.
Yeah, so you've got the farm, you've got a cafe, it's all organic, it's all local, it's all delicious, and you're growing hemp, and you've teamed up with the Rodale Institute. And tell me a bit about that relationship.
So 7 years ago, we started the farm. I had no idea how to farm, and I just wanted to help my community and educate them and give them access to organic, nutrient-dense vegetables. And I cold called Rodale to see if they would partner with me, and for some reason they did. And so they helped me start the farm, and we had a Rodale farm manager from day one for the first few years. And then a few years ago, we became one of their regional resource centers. They only have 5 in the whole world. And so we have an on-site Rodale lab and 2 PhD scientists here full-time. And they're conducting over 12 research projects a year for human health, for planetary health, and ways to deal with pests and disease for farmers without using synthetic or harmful methods.
Right, okay. Tell me what this event is today.
We're so excited to have our Hemp Field Day here in collaboration with Rodale Institute and Jefferson University, and just showing all the different ways that hemp can be utilized, from grain varieties and fiber varieties to CBD made into different value-added products, as well as our hemp microgreens.
All right, cool. Yeah, it's exciting to be here. A lot of familiar faces, too. Why organics? Why regenerative? What is it for you?
So I suffer from a stomach condition called gastroparesis, which is a paralyzed stomach. And Western medicine just wanted to cut out my stomach and give me feeding tubes. And I started working with new doctors, and I adopted organic lifestyle and using food as medicine, and the results were undeniable of the improvement in my quality of life. And I went from being sick 5 days a week to 5 days a month. And I wanted to show other people and educate them, because I was uneducated and I thought everything at the grocery store is safe, and I just was unaware. And when I started making those changes in my lifestyle, my quality of life improved. And so that's why we started the farm, to help people have a better quality of life and learn about the food system. And farming in a regenerative organic certified way is better for human health and planetary health, because we're making the soil better every year and making it more nutrient dense for the consumer, and also better in times of drought and floods and climate change, that the plants are more resilient and more nutrient dense at the same time. So it's a win for human health and a win for planetary health.
There you go. I love that answer. All right, so why hemp?
So hemp just helped me huge on my stomach journey. I have a lot of like vomiting and nausea, and I'm allergic to a lot of the nausea medications. And when I started using CBD, back in the day when it was just Charlotte's Web in Colorado, it just helped so much to calm my stomach and give me an appetite. And how it can help so many different people in so many different ways is amazing to me. But back then they didn't have test results of heavy metals and microbials and all those things. And I wanted to produce like a clean, pure product that was safe and consistent for people that was not harmful.
Awesome. I love that. Thank you for sharing your story with me. And I'm really happy to hear that your journey through health, through food is working.
Hey, so happy to have you here, and looking forward to talking more.
Yeah. Thank you, Ashley.
I'm Tara Caton, the Rodale Institute, a research associate here at our Pocono Organics Center. It's one of our 5 regional resource centers of the Rodale Institute.
Just real quick, where are the other 4?
Yeah, sure. So we have here in the Pocono Organics, our headquarters is at Kutztown, Pennsylvania, if you are not aware. And then we have Iowa, Georgia, California, and our Pacific Northwest in Washington State. And then we have Italy.
Wow, that's awesome. Rodale has been growing so much since, I guess, the first time I saw hemp was in 2017 at the farm in Kutztown. So, and you were on our show before, we think it was 2019 maybe? And you've had quite a journey since then. You were at Rodale, you've then gone on to do research in Kentucky, and now you're back. So, yeah, give us a quick update as to what you've been doing.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I got to start the hemp program here at the Rodale Institute in Kutztown in 2017, and we grew for a couple years, did a lot of research on integrating hemp into our regenerative organic crop rotation and what benefits that could have for the soil and for the weed suppression aspects of hemp. And so we were always focusing on industrial hemp fiber specifically because of the massive amount of biomass that it produces. And so I then had the opportunity after 4 years at Rodale to move on and learn a little bit more at a really large program at the University of Kentucky. So they have one of the largest hemp programs in the country, and we had a consortium with Cornell University and North Carolina State. And so I got to work with some people who've been doing it a little bit longer and had some resources and also connection to the industry. So some states out west actually started a little bit before us. So they were already growing for a few years before we got to. So they had some experience and the industry was already catching up. So they had some companies that were making products. And so we got to learn more about the processing and work with growers. And specifically in Kentucky, we were working with a lot of tobacco growers. So it was the hemp and tobacco program that I was managing under Dr. Bob Pierce. And so that was really to help this transition as tobacco kind of made its way out. What are other solutions? Is hemp a solution for these growers?
And where are they now in Kentucky? Is hemp the solution for those growers?
I think we're still, again, a work in progress. Hemp is still very much a work in progress. Yeah. We're still learning. But there are some great companies out there that are making things. Actually, one of the coolest things I got to do, it was kind of full circle moment. During one of the research projects, we were growing some fiber hemp. We actually got to harvest that, put it in some round bales, drive it out west to Murray, Kentucky to Hempwood. Yeah. And we got to make hemp flooring. And the last thing I did before I moved back to Pennsylvania was help install that wood flooring in the lab and office spaces.
Oh, that's cool.
So it was like a full circle moment from seed to flooring. And so that was really cool to see. And we were also doing some work with Victory Hemp Foods and so some stuff on the grain production as well.
Cool. I've been to both of those facilities in Murray and Carlton. So good folks out there in Kentucky.
For sure.
Yeah, well, glad you're back here in Pennsylvania. Glad you're back at the Rodale Institute. So what is this event today?
Yeah, so today we are hosting, hopefully, an annual Hemp Field Day here at the Pocono Organics Center. So like I said, we're a regional resource center of the Rodale Institute, but we are housed at Pocono Organics, which is a profit company. They make their own CBD products right here on site. They grow the CBD, they send it off to get extracted at an certified organic facility, and then they bring it back and they make things like bath bombs and tinctures and soaps and gummies. And then they have a little cafe and market and restaurant. It's right here, right at the base of the Pocono Raceway. It's a really, really cool center to be at. And we do have a full research facility here.
Cool. Yeah, such a nice place. Why hemp for you? Why is it hemp?
I feel like most of us in the industry will tell you it was a happy accident. It started, we had this opportunity to work on something new, which in agriculture doesn't happen very often. So it was really exciting. And so I think, one of those happy accidents, and we want to grow some hemp. you have some time and learn some things. And very quickly, I got very swept up in this industry and was talking all over the country to different people and working with different researchers. And that happened really quickly. And then, like I said, I got the opportunity to go to Kentucky and learn even more and have the ability to do some pretty extensive research on both fiber and grain hemp. And make some connections with different researchers all around the country. And so that brought me back here, and now we can maintain those relationships and those collaborations and really build the research we're doing here. But not only just hemp, we really want to work on hemp and how it can fit into the regenerative organic system. And that's what we're trying to do here.
Right, yeah, it has to. It's not just hemp, like you're not a hemp farmer, you're a farmer who grows hemp.
Yes, exactly. I'm a regenerative organic agricultural researcher. But hemp is my crop of choice, and probably will be for a while. We definitely like to do some work on the specialty crops. They need some attention too,
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
yeah.
All right, so the after lunch thing is about to happen now.
Yeah,
so we'll
we're
get
about
back
to
in.
start presentations, and there's going to be a really awesome panel discussion with some great panelists that are in the industry.
Can you tell me what that panel's about?
So I think they're really talking about, I think it tends to be about the future of hemp is kind of where we're going, because we keep having this conversation. I was in the same exact type of panel. It was 5 years ago in Colorado, and it was the same time. It was the future of hemp. What's the future of the industry? And that's changed over time, but it seems like we're still asking some of the same questions. So I'm interested to see what happens here.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Tara.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, well, I'm here with Ron Kander, and we don't have a lot of time, so hi, Ron, how are you? It's good to see you again.
Doing great. Great to see you again, Eric.
Yeah, so I've heard that you've recently retired from some of your positions at Jefferson, but you got to keep some of the fun stuff. Tell me what you're up to now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I retired from my administrative jobs, and now I'm a part-time research faculty member on campus, so I get to do the fun stuff, which is hang out with undergraduate and graduate students and do research on hemp.
That's awesome. All right, so what brings you out here today to the Pocono Organic Hemp Field Day?
Well, we had this idea between Rodale, Pocono Organics, and us that we needed a field day that was a little different, that sort of started at the farm, but then kind of transitioned into applied research, and then even ended with some of the speculative research, like what's happening maybe 5 years from now, and then just sort of close it up with a panel discussion from some of the people that are actually like getting their hands dirty doing this stuff. And to me, that's the real sweet spot right now is we need to get somehow the ag community and the agronomics folks connected to the science and materials community to figure out how to optimize sort of supply chain from farm all the way to product. And, we've been talking about that for a long time, but I think we're finally getting close to where we know now kind of what has to happen and why.
All right, and talk about some of the projects that are going to be on display here today.
Sure. So there's been some field experiments, where you're seeing some of the studies where they're changing ag variables like, amount of nitrogen, cover crops, not cover crops, things like that. But then one of the things you'll hear about this afternoon is we took the fibers from those trials and actually did the fiber quality testing in terms of strength and stiffness and things like that. And so we're finding that there's some optimum between the best ag variables to get the most yield and the best fiber quality from a materials point of view, and the optimum economically is somewhere between those. And so if you don't have the ag folks talking to the product folks, you're not going to find that optimum. And so we have a really cool case study this afternoon on a research paper that we wrote with Rodale on that topic.
Excellent. How is it working with Rodale? This seems like you described it as a partnership?
Yes, absolutely. Arash, who's their research director, and I've spent a lot of time talking, and what we want to do, not just for hemp, but for the organic regenerative space in general, the ag folks need to understand materials better, and the materials folks need to understand ag better. So we're thinking about, this is just a kickoff event. We want to do some joint educational things where we do courses up there or at the university where the people who are doing on one side of this can learn from the folks on the other side about what they do.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And are you here representing Jefferson, or are you still involved in the steering committee for Pennsylvania?
Yeah, so I'm still on the steering committee leadership team. I'm not leading it anymore, but I've let that go to some of the other members. I've did it for enough years, and but I'm representing the university here, where we're talking about the research at Thomas Jefferson.
Okay. Look into your crystal ball and show me some of the bright spots that are coming up in a few years. Where are we going to be in 5 years?
So I think where we're going to be, I think we're finally getting some folks who have realized that the sweet spot from a sustainable business point of view is sort of medium value, large volume processes. And especially we need to find applications where they're currently using materials that can be substituted with hemp and hemp fiber or hemp curd. And that's going to allow us to build a supply chain over a few years without having to jumpstart the business with a huge facility up front, because we've been trying to do that for years and there's just not enough economic, weight behind that right now to do. Nobody has 8 figures to build a big processing facility. So we've got to bootstrap up with some applications like, nonwovens for construction applications, insulation, and, go to fibers, go to composite materials. Those are the things I think we can get to quickly. And we have a couple case studies we're going to talk about this afternoon where that's actually working.
Good. All right. So hemp's not going anywhere, in your opinion? I mean, it's not
going away.
Right, not going away. That's the way to put it.
Yeah, it's not going away at all. And in fact, I think the rise of sustainability as an issue, and I think sustainability got a bad name because people were sort of greenwashing products. And I think now sustainability as a concept has gotten sophisticated enough that people understand it. And I think that's going to help hemp, if anything, because everybody knows that hemp has the credentials to be a highly sustainable material, but so many competing materials claimed they also had that. And now people are getting smart enough to understand a lot of those claims were not really true. Hemp is based in science. It really is a sustainable material.
Hemp is the signal in the noise.
Yes, very well said. Very well said.
Dr. Ron Kander, it's great to see you again. Thank you so much.
Always great to see you, Eric. Thanks a lot.
Jacob Bish, hello. Welcome to the Lancaster Farming Industrial Hemp Podcast. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me on, Eric.
So you're up at Cornell, and the reason we're talking today is because I've heard about this hempcrete workshop that's coming up, or hemp building workshop, because I think it's more than just hempcrete. And I think we have to be clear that when we talk about hemp construction, there's a lot more than just hempcrete, right? There's bad insulation, there's all kinds of stuff. And you're bringing all of these people in, like you're bringing in kind of like the who's who of hemp building in the US and possibly the world, right? So hopefully I didn't steal too much of your thunder. So tell me, Jacob, what is happening at Cornell at this event?
Yeah, great introduction. Thank you very much for that. I'm very excited because I'm hosting this hemp building workshop here September 16th through the 18th. And what we're going to be doing is New York State has provided a grant for a bioeconomy hub. And so a portion of this grant has actually gone to purchasing an Ereasy system from Americhanvre. And since we're getting this equipment, we thought it'd be a great idea to, for the purposes of a bioeconomy hub, bring builders from New York State together to show off how do we use this equipment and what are other applications that we can incorporate hemp into building materials. So yeah, I'm hosting a 3-day event where the first day we're going to be bringing speakers such as Sergey, Alex Escher, Henry Gage.
Sergey Kovalenkov?
Yeah, Sergey Kovalenkov from Hempire.
Okay.
Alex Escher from Hemp Hollow Processing, Henry Gage and Jeff Gagon from Round Out Natural Builders, Greg Wilson from Hempwood, Maddie Mead from Hempitecture, to just be talking about the different ways they've incorporated hemp into their buildings, their architecture plans, and they're ready to use and incorporate products.
Right. And Maddie and Greg, they have factories too. So that's a really interesting part of the supply chain and all of that. So that's great that you're bringing those guys too.
Yeah, absolutely. Because there's more than just hempcrete and hemp insulation, because they have quite a few ready to incorporate materials. Mm-hmm. So it's important to educate architects, engineers, builders on the different ways they can go about thinking of incorporating these products.
Right, like
it's
what
not
the
just
options
one size fits all. Exactly.
Yeah. Cool.
No, that's the first day lineup, where the second day is going to be really exciting because we're going to have a hands-on demonstration for 3 different types of hempcrete applications. So the first is Sergey Kovalenkov with his tamp-in-place demonstration.
Okay.
Then we're going to be showing off Bison Biocomposites. Chad Frey has started that company. He did demonstration at NOCO this year, and we're going to be doing another demonstration with his flowable and precast applications.
Oh, okay.
And then we'll end it with Cameron McIntosh and Americhanvre's Ereasy Spray-in-Place System. So again, showing the different types of applications so these builders can make smart choices when they choose to need to be able to use some of these different products.
Okay, and those demos are all on the day 2. I guess that's the 17th? The
Correct.
Wednesday? Okay.
Yes, day 1 is more of a in-class discussion period, with day 2 being the interactivity, hands-on demonstration. And then day 3, we're going to be providing the people that go through that experience with a tour of the hemp fields and showing off some of our harvesting and processing. So again, people get a greater context of what all goes into the manufacturing of these products.
Oh, that's great. Well, you mentioned you're trying to get builders and architects. Do you expect also like policymakers and, New York bigwigs coming to attend? Is that the official term for the officials in New York, bigwigs? I don't know if they still wear wigs.
I'm sure some of them do. I think plugs are becoming more common now, but regardless of their hairpieces, I would actually encourage them to come to the field day. I think that's happening on September 11th, and I think that would give them a much greater understanding and insight. Whereas my hemp building workshop, I'm actually trying to keep a very small group of people because I want it to be very intimate, very hands-on, very deep in understanding and discussion. So as people have questions, we can stop and address those.
Okay.
So I really do want our hemp shop to be a lot more technical and a lot more than surface level. So I'm going to try to keep the politicians out of that one.
Yeah, keep the politicians out of that. Do you have like a cap? Because I love the idea of like a small class size because then the student-teacher ratio is better.
Yeah, so that first day, we're trying to limit it to 100 guests in total, and we're charging $110 for tickets for day 1 only. And we'd like to have 35 of those participants that are in day 1 buy tickets to day 2 and 3. And if you buy a 3-day event pass, that would be $450.
Okay. All right. And so where can people find the tickets? Where we can go to the Cornell website and register, or maybe you have some kind of Eventbrite link you can send me?
Yeah, I'll absolutely send you a link. If you just Google Cornell Hemp Building Workshop, it is the first link that pops up on our website, hemp.cals.cornell.edu.
That's the power of SEO right there. Good job, Cornell.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got some good people on our side helping to promote this event. So I'm very thankful for them.
Yeah, good. All right. So you buy the ticket. You can go for one day. You can then go for the other days. And it's in Geneva. It's at the Agritech campus, right?
Correct. It's in Geneva, New York, about an hour north of Ithaca and an hour east of Rochester.
Okay. And I was talking to Larry Smart earlier on the show about his field day that you mentioned on September 11th. And yeah, that promises to be an excellent Cornell event too. This year they're focusing on grain, which is pretty cool. It's
Correct.
been kind of a fiber summer for me, so it's going to be nice to kind of shift gears and get back to grain. Where are you sourcing the hemp herds that you're going to use for your demonstration?
Oh, that's very exciting. I'm actually sourcing them from here in Geneva, New York. So last year we grew a lot of hemp fiber, multiple different varieties. And I harvested and baled those up last year. And we also have a decorticator here on site, which we'll be showing off on the field day and in the workshop of how do we process this hemp. And so, yeah, I've been working hard this summer to process enough bales to generate the herd needed for
Cool.
this event. So
All
this will
right.
be New York grown hemp, New York processed hemp, and then we're going to be able to make buildings or in New York with that material. So
Wow, New York, Cornell, raising the bar. Come on,
exactly.
Pennsylvania. Come on, we can do this too, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Every state can do this.
Yeah, that's one of the great things about this New York grant is trying to create this bioeconomy hub, is showing people we can grow products, process them, and use them within the state to generate money for our farmers, our manufacturers, our builders.
And to create
So
houses for people, clothing for people. It's the idea of a local circular economy is so, I don't know, it's a paradigm shift, I believe, but I think we can all get there as we work together.
yeah, it's interesting how those things go back and forth in the tide of history. You know, everything was local at one point, and these past few decades, we've gotten into this large globalized economy, and now we're trying to really bring that back. Of how can I get materials not from halfway across the world? How can I get them from halfway across my backyard?
Yeah, right. We sort of need to recover from the 20th century. So, and what I love about what I do on this show is that I get to talk to the people who are doing that, who are sort of building the future that I'm optimistic about. And you're one of those people, Jacob, and your brother is too. And it's really great. I feel really lucky that I've gotten to know the Bish family from Giltner, Nebraska. So thank you for doing what you do. And before I let you go, because I know you're busy, you have stuff to do there. Obviously, you have to finish planting this thing. You have to harvest. There's some hops coming in. You're busy. What is your job there at Cornell? Like, tell me a little bit about what it is you do and the
Yeah.
official name.
So my official title is Research Support Specialist, which is exactly what I do. I'm a specialist that supports the research of others around me. So Larry has quite a large lab group, and he's got about half a dozen grad students or post-grad students working on various research projects. And I mean, these all take a lot of focus. And so we've got a research support specialist that focuses primarily in the greenhouse and taking care of the different projects that are going on there before they go out to field. We've got a research support specialist specifically for the hops projects that occur. And so we've got a couple specialists that do a variety of things, but I guess my goal is because with all of the specialty crops, Larry's ended up purchasing some specialty equipment. And so while he's got a large group of people that know a lot about plants, I'm there to help fill some of the mechanical gaps in their knowledge.
Right, because you come from a family, like you're third generation sort of equipment manufacturer. So I imagine you just sort of grew up with gears and headers and all kinds of stuff. So you know that stuff, I imagine.
Yeah, I was raised in a steel shops surrounded by a cornfield. So I'm very familiar with both mechanics, manufacturing, and agriculture. So yeah, I'm a bit of a jack of all trades. I'm running around doing different projects depending on the day. But ultimately, I'm here to fulfill the needs of everyone around me to make sure they get the data they need so we can publish information to get resources to growers, to producers, to consumers, so we can all make better, smarter choices, informed choices as we keep walking down this path of hemp growing, hemp building, eating hemp.
Building an industry. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like pushing it the way it's rolling, because it's rolling. There's momentum. And well, thank you, Jacob. It's great to talk to you. Is there anything else you need to tell us about Cornell, your job, Nebraska, or the hemp building event?
Registration deadline is September 2nd. So if you're interested in going, I really encourage you to buy a ticket today. Spots are going to be filling up here very shortly, and it's going to be a great event. So if you're in New York or you've got a project coming up, I really encourage you to buy a ticket, whether it's just for the single day or for all 3 days. You're going to find value there.
There you go. It's going to be a great investment for you and your business. So yeah, I'll have a link to that on the show page. So dear listeners, go to Cornell. Thank you, Jacob.
Thank you, Eric.
I'll see you at the field day.
Absolutely. I look forward to it.
All right, there you go. That's the show for this week. Thank you for listening. We've got a lot going on these days. And be sure to register for the Cornell event. The link is waiting for you on the show page for this episode at lancasterfarming.com. Go click it. Oh, and don't forget about the International Hemp Building Symposium, October 3rd through the 5th at the Lower Sioux Indian Community's Hemp Campus in Morton, Minnesota. I'll have more on that on a future show. But hey, let me just put this out there. I have some cool sponsorship opportunities for any person, business, or group that wants to sponsor Lancaster Farming's coverage of the Hemp Building Symposium. This is an historic event, and how cool would it be if your name or company was associated with it? hit me up at eherlock@lancasterfarming.com for more info. Again, we're looking for sponsorship for our coverage of the International Hemp Building Symposium. Okay, so that does it for me. Thanks again for listening. I am really grateful for you, our listening audience. My name is Eric Herlock. I am the senior digital editor at Lancaster Farming Newspaper, the greatest agricultural newspaper in the world. Check us out online at lancasterfarming.com. Get a subscription, sign up for the newsletter. Yeah, to just read some articles. All of it is waiting there for you at lancasterfarming.com. Okay, until next time, I'll see you in the newspaper.
This episode of The Hemp Show was written, recorded, and produced by Eric Herlock. Mixing and mastering by Justin Berger. Music by Eric Herlock. The Hemp Show is copyright 2025 by Lancaster Farming Newspaper, part of the Steinman Communications family.